What is going on, guys? Tuesday, July 19th. Not only is July 19th, but it is San Diego Comic-Con week. Haven't been able to say that in a few years. That virtual stuff was crap. But we're going to talk a little bit about San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to talk a little bit about lawsuit going on with Grogu and Gremlins. And then we have some Madam Web casting news, because you know we love to talk about them Sony Spider-Verse movies. But before we get into that, let's bring the panelists in here. We got a full house tonight. You guys might know him as the Amazing With, but I know him as the Iron Man of YouTube itself, and that's Mr. Brian McClay.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bro? I'm glad you made time from all your shows to come on ours.
I'm 8 subs away from 1,000 over there. 8 subs away from 1,000. So if you guys aren't subbed up on my YouTube channel, go sub up. Get me to that 1,000 mark.
Yes, link to his channel is in the description of this video, so guys check it out. And yeah, I talk light of it and make fun of it, but no kidding, you are the Iron Man of YouTube right now. I think you do shows about shows and always stuff going on at your channel. So if you guys like comic books, not just comic books, but collectibles, pop culture, good conversation in general with a bunch of great people, make sure you guys check out his YouTube channel. Again, the link to that is in the description, or you can search The Amazing with Brian McClay in YouTube, and that'll pop up until he hits that 1,000 subs, right? Because then what happens?
Then we change it to Beyond Wednesdays. That's
Yes.
the name. Yeah. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you. You know that.
Always, always. And another great YouTuber with some great content. We got the Dank Show YouTube channel and Mr. Dan Kim.
What up? Good to be here, everybody. Yeah, that 1K, that elusive 1K, huh?
Ooh,
it's weird. Rough. But then when you break through, it just just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, one day. I haven't hit the 1K, but it's okay.
It takes some time, that's for sure.
Yes, it's but that's part of the journey, man. That's what makes it fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We also have the Rhinoverse himself, Mr. Ryan Hayslip.
Yeah, my YouTube page is just like 980 subscribers away from 1,000. So you're almost there, buddy.
Well, the good thing about you is you're also all over the place, right? In social, you're also on your, Facebook group first.
I have all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm spread thin, but I'm all over the place at one time. So I'm in Twitch and World and Facebook, and Facebook's probably my biggest area. So come check me out there, because soon we're having some new things popping off. I'm working on my studio, as you can see now.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out. Just search for Rhinoverse. That's with the Y though, right?
RHYNO.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
RHYNO. But last and certainly not least, Mr. Button Pusher himself. We have YouTuber extraordinaire as well, with his huge CGC unboxing recently. The guy fast-tracked and then fast-tracked, 9 8s, 9 9s. I think he got a couple 13s in there. But Comic Man Andy, what's going on, buddy?
13s.
Hey, you all know how in America here we call them elevators, right? Do you know in the UK they call them lifts? I guess we're just raised differently.
Yeah.
Wow. That one was really uplifting.
Yeah, well, I mean, you started it like, okay. Hey guys. Thanks for having me. I rode an elevator.
Going down.
But we got people coming into the chat as always. And thank you so much, Mr. Darth Lopez. We got Chitiki Comic. Always love him in here. Cannot ever say enough good things about his avatar. We got that great G.I. Joe 2 cover. But some great topics to discuss tonight. We kicked off the show. I kicked off the intro horribly with talking about San Diego Comic-Con. But San Diego Comic-Con is back. Brian's going to introduce that topic for us, because he also has a great little story, because we were just talking before we went live that he got the ID10T error.
Yes. I am still trying to go to San Diego this year, even though it is coming up in a couple of days. Actually, it starts tomorrow, right? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? That
Yeah, they got Wednesday. They got stuff going Wednesday, and the official's Thursday. I think Wednesday is what, preview night, right?
yeah, and Wednesday is for all the retailers that are there to go scoop up each other's goodies. But for the rest of us, it is Thursday through Sunday for San Diego Comic-Con. The first time in a couple of years that it's back, like Brian said earlier. And I'm actually excited to see what happens because San Diego is the place for all the big news. And we're supposed to be getting a bunch of big news from Marvel and all the big movie companies. Maybe some information about some new stuff. There's all kinds of great panels that happens every year. We're gonna have Walking Dead panels, Paper Girl panels, Berserker panels, all kinds of fun stuff. You guys can go ahead and check out all the panels that are coming up throughout the week. But I think that the exciting stuff to me is what happens after the show hours, hanging out with everybody after the show deep into the night. And that's what I'm hoping to get to go enjoy this year in beautiful San Diego along with everybody else. But here's the crazy thing. And I did not find this out till today. They are requiring everybody to wear masks.
Yeah,
Did you guys know
I'm
that?
out.
Yeah, right. They're requiring everybody to wear masks, including retailers. You have to have your two booster shots and vaccination cards and all that stuff.
That's going to cause a pain in the ass.
And a lot of people don't know that. So a lot of people are going to be taking their trips to San Diego without their vaccination cards, without any of that, and you're not going to be able to make it to the show. It'll be interesting to see if that rule continues throughout the week. That's a big problem for a lot of people.
Hopefully they put it in their digital wallet. I got mine in my digital wallet on my iPhone, my Vax card, but I don't like the mask. They did that at Baltimore, and it was such a chaos. It created such a huge backup just to get into the con that it was wasn't even worth it almost.
Oh, and could you imagine San Diego?
That's what I'm saying. You take Baltimore, multiply it by gazillion trillions.
Yes, and that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. Also, another thing that I heard about San Diego this year is that they decided not to give retailers free passes. The first time ever that they haven't given retailers and brick and mortar comic shop owners free passes.
Inflation Nation.
Well, they used to team up with Diamond to do that. And of course, Diamond now is not the big wig in the comics world that it used to be. So they really don't have to, work with Diamond anymore. And there's, 1,500 less local brick and mortar stores out there than there was 2 years ago. So, and the crazy thing about it is, they decided not to give them those passes, and they said, okay, if you want them, we put aside a certain amount for you guys to buy, and they didn't even sell out because they were like, screw it, we're not going to go. So it's really interesting to see how things are changing at San Diego. We all know it kind of changed from being a comic convention to a movie convention. And now they're really starting to shut that door on the comic people, it feels like.
Which is crazy. That's insane. Like it's just totally insane. Like it's so, man, that's crazy. Because comic shops are what keep things going between different conventions. Sure, there's movies coming out. Without the shops, there would be no movies. Without the shops, stuff like that. I mean, there'd be those are the experiences and whatnot. And the fact that they're doing that maybe you could limit the amount of free passes you give. Maybe you're like, hey, each shop gets one or two. But man, they're going to cut it out altogether. That's insane. So is that like the retailers? Is that including like the folks that have booths there and stuff like that? I mean, how does that work?
Just so they just used to give, if you were a brick and mortar comic shop, I think it was only for brick and mortars, but it could have been for retailers also, non brick and mortar retailers like
e-commerce.
Yeah. A lot of the retailers that we know today are non brick and mortar retailers. 616 is brick and mortar?
No, they're just online.
So
Frankie's has brick and mortar now.
Okay, so 616, Bird City, Wanted Comics, Hive Comics, all those guys that we love, they're not brick and mortar retailers. And I don't know if non brick and mortar retailers were offered tickets in the past, but none of them are being offered it now. And that doesn't include obviously, the people who are there. They're paying for those tables.
I
to
feel
do
like
that.
it, like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. It's called San Diego Comic Con. You're like, you do plan to have comics at your Comic Con, right? I mean,
Yeah,
good
right.
lord.
So we'll see how that works out. Their exclusive portal is now open, so it sounds like you can get exclusives through their portal. I don't know how that is going to work for everybody. There were some really good Stan Sakai covers that were supposed to be available at some point. So,
There's some cool Funkos, of course. I'm gonna put the link in the private chat, but Mattel always has some great stuff, and they have um, you can get on Mattel Creations Thursday at 5 p.m. or at the Comic Con, but there's a exclusive He-Man Skeletor Mattel set that's dual folded box art and everything. It's got the classic He-Man style figure and the classic Skeletor figure.
Yep.
So I
and
might
they also
try
have
to
like
get
they have like a Lego one too, right?
There's
That
a
they're doing.
Lego one, and then there's of course there's some great cool ass Hot Wheels too. There's like a Princess Peach one.
Ghost Rider,
Yeah, so I put the
Knight
Mattel
Rider.
link in the private chat if you want to pull it up, because I suck at sharing stuff on here. But um, the SDCC blog, in fact, I'll just put that link in the actual chat. It has like a bunch of exclusives, like from a bunch of different, not just comic book publishers, but like Mattel, Funko, Monkey Minion. Has the publisher stuff too, the regular con exclusives, the Marvel pins. There's Aftershock
Slap in
stuff
the
in there.
face to the retailers. That's I mean, I keep thinking about that. Like, can you imagine being like, this is like your privilege to that you do you there's certain things you do things for certain perks and whatnot. I mean, that's not all you do it for, but the perks are kind of cool when you do certain things. You're in a certain genre or whatever, and you're like, yeah, you, I mean, the brick and mortar shops, it's a struggle. I mean, it's just struggle is real for those individuals. For them to have to be like, it's like taking away like a benefit almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
experience it at least once and make it a bucket list kind of thing. But for me, it'd be like 80% the travel and the staying at a hotel and getting back to San Diego. It's been probably 20 years since I've been in San Diego, and I'd love to be back out there to check that out. And then I could say that I did the convention, but I also got a little bit more traveling under my belt, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the mask mandate, though, because C2E2 also, well, not also, let me refrain from saying that. They some time ago said that they will be siding with whatever the state of Illinois decides, and the state of Illinois said no mask mandate, no requirement. So I wonder if this is going to create a narrative that's going to play to change things the next couple of weeks, because everybody, again, C2E2, I mean, it's not as big as San Diego, but nobody's concerned about cards or masks or anything, and everybody's planning their trips now. So how's that going to change as people are budgeting into that, and what narrative does that create for the rest of the conventions the rest of the year?
Yeah, you're scrolling through like so much goodness there. You had some No Holds Barred. You got some Jurassic Park. The Hot Wheels Mandalorian. You got the Hot Wheels Princess Peach. Those things go crazy nuts, but a lot of those are going to be that Mattel Creations site at I think 5 p.m. Thursday. They're saying, but
Friday.
okay.
Thursday or Friday. It says right here, Friday, July 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific.
Gotcha. I think they're listed different for different.
Oh,
toys
okay.
Also.
All right, that makes sense.
So pay attention to that just in case.
Yeah.
But, I love that He-Man Skeletor set. That Princess Peach, I think those Hot Wheels do some crazy money too. You know how those Hot Wheels collectors are. My wife was a manager at Target. As people are there lined up to like sneakers getting released, but for Hot Wheels. And the Edna Incredibles. So, and that's just Mattel. I put the link in the chat that has the exclusives for pretty much everyone. It's unofficial San Diego Comic-Con blog, but I hope you get to go, McClay, because then we can have a con report.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to go. We'll see what happens. If I don't go out Wednesday, I might go out just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is
And
Leggy going? Do you know?
Legs going, Drew's going,
Is
Bird
Hart going?
City's going.
Aaron Yee's going.
Aaron, no, he's not going.
Oh, he's not?
No. So here's all the people that we know that are going that I believe. Legs going, Drew's going, Big Clutch is going, Chris
Yeah, Big
Colbert is
Clutch got
going.
some sweet merchandise too to give out. If you see him, make sure you
Yeah.
say
Big Clutch.
hello.
Chris Colbert. Who else? Ninth Wonder, Skeff, the Hive Boys, Vinny Kumar, Dinesh is going to be there.
You talked to Nick Hart. Is he going?
I haven't talked to Hart. No, I don't know if I don't think Hart's going. But yeah, there's a lot of people going. I'm really looking forward to it to make it happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
That area of San Diego is just fun.
Ooh, I love the gas lamp district, man. Yeah. Great. I used to go to San Diego every year from like the early 2000s to like 2006, I think was the last year I went. And that was when it was just starting to do the changeover from comics to entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
And the last year I went in 2006 or 2007, it had just gotten so crowded and you couldn't get any of the exclusives anymore. You know, people were just
all the lottery stuff made it a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and it just wasn't fun anymore, and I quit going. And now it's even worse. So, but like I said, to me the key is hanging out with all of the people afterwards. That's the fun stuff to me.
Oh, that's interesting. The article you sent us had nothing. It didn't mention any of that what you just said, McClay. You know, all the details you gave us. You know, like the article is just focused on the pop culture news that's coming out.
Yeah.
Which Mitch mentioned in the chat. That's what SDCC is. It's just a movie and pop culture convention these days. But I guess the normie news is that Marvel has all these secret leaked releases, you know, and I guess that's what they're excited for. So,
well, supposedly on the channel or the page, they have a link to this Clear app, I guess, that you can get for San Diego on your phone. That's supposed to help with getting in and out because of the COVID stuff. It's called. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'll bring it up for you. This is what they sent a link to this Clear Health Pass.
Yeah, it was the same one that the C2E2 used last year.
Yeah. So now is this for your vaccinations, or is this just to tell you if you have a fever?
Basically what this does is, well, yeah, you got to answer some questions in there, and I can't remember all of the questions, but what you do is you end up uploading photos of your vaccination card, then they can verify that via the stickers or the numbers, or somehow they're verifying that card with your healthcare providers or something, and then it takes that card, keeps it on there, and then creates a QR code that when you're walking in, it was really nice at C2E2. All I had to do was hold up my phone, scan it, and then give me a thumbs up in less than 2 seconds. Say, you're good. And
that's
obviously
so much easier than the way they did it at Baltimore. It was like,
yeah, Baltimore was really not great. This health pass thing made C2E2 last year really easy, and then that temperature scanner took maybe a second or two.
I don't trust this Clear company. They work at the airports too, right? And they're
Yeah,
like
they
a
take all
private
your-
third-party company, and
they take all your HIPAA data. Okay.
yeah, and there's no, I don't know what protections. I mean, and they like rush you, and you're signing huge contracts. You don't know what you're just signing up for. They're taking your fucking eyeball prints and shit. You know, like
Scanners.
and
Well, I at first I had the same apprehensions at first. Then when I realized that vaccination records are public records.
Yeah,
you can publicly look up vaccination records.
Oh, he's like, I'm already on
what,
TikTok,
only
so everyone's got
COVID?
my shit anyways.
That's like all the vaccines or just COVID?
All the vaccines.
Yeah.
Your medical records are public records?
Vaccines aren't. There's something different in that, and I asked that same question. Somebody explained it to me pretty quickly. I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense." But it's the same as public schools asking for vaccination records for children. Like it's part of their medical record and part of your health record, but it's a public school that has the ability to ask that it's a thing. I wish I knew more about it so I could explain
You
I'm
it.
know,
sure
it's
you have to
weird.
have some type of consent though.
And then,
Public
like,
schools
how
don't.
come
They were,
hospitals can't? You go to hospital, they don't know your records. They don't know what the fuck happened to you. They don't know
oh,
what
that's just
medications.
that's just bad management.
Well, isn't? But that's where it should work. But
Yeah.
these third parties are making it work for events and all that. I don't know.
And if it's
It
public record, why are
smells.
schools asking you to bring it? Why can't the schools just look
This
that shit
smells
up
very
themselves?
fishy.
And lose
Manpower and
cash?
labor. They got a shoestring budget and not enough people as it is to teach kids, and then that's why they make the people coming do as much work as possible.
So, anyways, Mr. Star Wars, Andy Beardo Hefe, we got Baby Yoda. We got some Baby Yoda Grogu drama.
It's a little controversy going on, and when I mean a little controversy, I mean about a 2-foot bit of controversy. Yes, Hail, Gremlins director says Star Wars Grogu design is a ripoff of Gizmo.
Got something to say there.
Yeah.
Well, in an era in which the Star Wars fandom is consistently divided, one particular character introduced in The Mandalorian has become beloved and iconic as any figure in the franchise history, and Grogu has been a fan favorite since his debut in 2019. In some ways, has single-handedly propelled the series into popularity on Disney+. However, some have criticized the character's presence for being a shameless ploy to sell merchandise. And now Gremlins director Joe Dante is making the claim that the character's a ripoff of Gizmo. Well, let's talk right first and foremost.
Grogu don't get wet or eat after midnight.
We all know that anything that happens in any movie or anything, merchandising is how they make the money. Dank has brought that case in point on a couple of different things, and that's it. So that kind of doesn't add a lot of fuel to the fire. We're all kind of aware of that. But if Grogu is a ripoff of Gizmo, is Gizmo a ripoff of Yoda?
No, because Yoda was an old ass fucker.
But still, the facial, the not the super details, but if you look and pull back and just draw like an outline of Yoda, it's very similar, right?
Well, I guess you're right. Empire Strikes Back came out, what, 82?
Yeah, and I think Gremlins was 83 or 84.
The closest is Ewoks, but that was Jedi, which was, what, 84?
So what they did is Gizmo's a combo ripoff of Yoda and the Ewoks.
I think and this is just me, conspiracy theory, isn't there a Gremlin animated series or a Gremlin series that's about the HBO Max or one of those streaming channels? I think this is their, hey, let's get this some attention, and then it's like kind of like a marketing ploy to get the attention on Gremlins, and then it's like, surprise, cockfags, we got a freaking Gremlins streaming episode for you.
Y'all just can't get enough of that Grogu, and now you got Gremlins.
Yeah, but I think it's animated, right? It's not live action, the upcoming Gremlins.
Well, I didn't know. Hey, shout out to my boy Zach over at Starbucks. He is my Star Wars aficionado. He knows like this.
Star Wars Venti Americano.
There, that too. He was telling. I never even thought about this. I always thought that the little. I mean, because I'm not as smart with this Star Wars. I watch Star Wars, but there's a lot of lore, and I respect everyone that knows it that well. So I thought Grogu was just a small. Yoda, yes, not yoga, Yoda. Yeah, you're not getting me that easy. But then he was like, he went into discuss how it could have been his baby or whatever, and then how it all kind of comes about along with the whole Jedi thing. It just blew my mind. Like Zach knows what he's talking about when it comes to the Star Wars thing. But I guess this happened in 1850 that he got with somebody that's not his own species or something like that. It blew my mind.
Do you think there's merit to this? Dan, what do you think?
Jedi are I thought they were celibate. Anyway, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. Definitely it looks more like Gizmo is a combination of an Ewok and Yoda. That's like and they predate this. I don't know what the hell these. And then not only that, you know what else is extra silly is Joe Dante didn't design Gizmo.
Yeah,
he's a fucking film director. A production designer designed Gizmo, and only that person knows who ripped off what and whatever. Like, this is really, it's like a hack.
Yeah.
To me, this is a hack story. I mean, I know he's like, John Dante did a lot of good work or whatever, but it's
Stretch.
like,
Yeah,
and
no one
ideas are
watched it
cheap.
for Gizmo
By the way,
anyways.
also, ideas are cheap. It's your execution of the idea that is what wins out in the day. You know, like, so if Mandalorian sucked, no one would give a fuck. But people liked it. So,
Well, they watched Mandalorian for Baby Yoda. We watched Gremlins for Phoebe Cates.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Gremlins had merchandising out the wazoo back in the day. I remember being a kid and seeing all of that stuff hit the shelves too.
Oh yeah, that movie gave me nightmares as a kid.
Gremlins?
Yeah, Striper, nightmares. Never-ending Story, nightmares. Dark Crystal, nightmares.
Yep.
What is-
E.T., nightmares.
I mean, the evil gremlins look
E.T.?
like Yoda, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what the F is this dude talking about? Like, it's so patently absurd.
Yeah.
They're-
Well, Yoda
they're
had.
just- that- all this is they're the same species, but like it's like black and white. This is two different nationalities.
I mean, Yoda is.
So what you're saying is this is Grogu 5,000 years later in our time.
So,
Yoda's is also is like one of the most mysterious like alien species of all the alien species, so it would make sense to use that as the child character
Yeah.
because Mandalorian is a retelling of Lone Wolf and Cub. That's what is going on. That it is a direct remake of Lone Wolf and Cub. So I don't know. This is
People
just
just don't remember Lone Wolf and Cub.
the samurai story, or it's called like Shogun Assassin. It's like a cut up version of Lone Wolf and Cub. Tarantino loves this film series. It's excellent, by the way. I think it's on Amazon. I think you can watch it for free, but it's super violent. Like, you thought Kill Bill was violent. Kill Bill is like a pale imitation of what they did in Japan in the 70s with Lone Wolf and Cub. You know, Frank Miller did the covers for the re-release that Dark Horse printed. Super influential, and that's the main influence for Mandalorian. And if you're gonna pick a baby child, it's either gonna be a baby Greedo or a baby Yoda. I mean, like,
yeah.
what other baby would you? It's such an obvious pick. So the premise of this whole, I don't know, just sounds like a bitter, fucking, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna. I don't know him, so I'm not gonna.
Look at me!
insult
Look
the
at
shit
me!
out of him.
Yeah, I think to me that I see it as attention for Gremlins with their series coming up. But
I think you're right.
It's
That
totally
sounds-
that. It's exactly what it is. Like here.
I love both franchises. I mean, I do. Gremlins is place in pop culture. What they have like Gremlins? What they have like six Gremlins movies or something like that. I think some went straight to video. I don't know, but the first two were good, and Gremlins is a Christmas movie, right? So
Is it?
I thought there was only two.
I think there is.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of Critters. I think there's like 18 Critters movies.
Critters.
Critters gave me nightmares.
Nightmare
Yeah,
Critters.
E.T. man, E.T. gave
Nightmare
me
on Elm
nightmares.
Street?
And I kept waking
No,
up in
they
the
give
middle
me
of the night
nightmares.
sleeping. E.T. at the foot of the bed, and his head just rise up and start screaming like in the cornfield. That scene gave me. That was like one of the first movies I saw in the movie theater as a kid.
Yeah, it's same here. Except my mom one time before we saw ET, that's what it was. We went to see ET, but it was sold out. So that I think the next thing that was out that released around the same time was a movie by the name of Krull. And I think she's like, they said it's a it was a sci-fi movie as well, and it was in 3D. So my mom's like, "You want to see that?" I was like, "Ah!" I was like a little kid, and she's like, "Let's go see that." And I remember us sitting in the theater for like 10 minutes, and she'd be like, "We're getting the hell out of here," like bailing. It's just like it was.
Might have been like Sword and the Sorcerer. That was a crazy movie, but
Yeah,
E.T. made me love some Reese's
Oh,
Pieces.
that
and
sucked, but it was
those-
still had that little thing on that little.
yeah,
those
It was
ETs
crazy.
weren't able to stop the Chancellor from becoming the Emperor. They were there. They were there in the Senate. They could have done something, but they didn't.
yeah, I remember
They didn't
seeing
use
that.
their little fingers to
Yeah,
fix that shit
E.T.
up.
was the first movie I remember seeing too.
yeah.
101
And then they like
Dalmatians.
re-edited it and removed the guns and put walkie-talkies in their hands and stuff.
What?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I cried during ET for sure when he went in that bike.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I bawled in that deal. And I remember thinking, like, why am I crying? This is the greatest thing. I like this.
The Kroll sucked.
Girl did suck, but you remember it, so there's
I thought that came out like later though. Didn't it have or am I thinking of something else? Didn't it have like Tia Carrere or something in it? Or
I bet if you look it up, I bet it was released in the same time period
Okay.
as ET. Because I think that's what we got. It was something like that she took us to, and instead, not knowing because my mom's oblivious and stuff like that. And like we were there like 10 or 15 minutes. We're trying to wear the stupid 3D glasses, and I think I was just being obnoxious as hell. Like I can't see. This glass are not fitting me. And people are like, shh.
that's when the 3D glasses that was like red and
Yeah.
red and blue, right?
They were huge. Really wouldn't fit on my face. Kept falling off. It was annoying.
Yeah.
Like this sucks.
But speaking of movies, Dan, right? We got some
Yeah.
movie casting news.
Got some casting news for the Sony verse, the Sony Spider Verse, right? SSV
Yeah.
or whatever. Adam Scott from Parks and Rec and the new Apple series Severance has been cast for the Madam Web film. His role is unknown. Nothing is known. Lots of speculation. Everyone's gonna be wrong. But I will say though, Adam Scott, he's because this is after he scored all these Emmy nominations, so they struck this deal while Severance was out and he was getting all this critical acclaim. So he's like he's fucking hot now. He's on fire. I mean, honestly, he's peaking kind of. This is the biggest his career has kind of been.
Let's just mention the best movie he was in, and that was Step Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, Step Brothers.
It was rock hard abs.
Yeah,
But-
you know, it's good for elbow pain.
But to me, this is sort of promising. I don't know. But then I thought Woody Harrelson was gonna be great as Carnage, so I just reversed my position on this. I thought this was gonna be. I don't know. We'll see. But if he's so hot, I'm just assuming if they're logical people that the script is so good that they join. But now I'm like, oh yeah, money in Hollywood. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Who is
Jennifer Connelly, Late Night Comics says Phoebe Cates or Jennifer Connelly as your babysitter. Jennifer Connelly all
Jennifer
day,
Connelly,
every
career
day.
opportunities?
Yes. Oh man, I had such a crush on Jennifer Connelly as a kid because of
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Oh my god, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely Jennifer Connelly over Phoebe Cates.
Correct answer? Both.
Swing.
Jennifer Connelly or Elizabeth Shue. That's a
That's
tough
a hard one because
That's a hard one. Yeah.
Cocktail and Adventures in Babysitting. She's got experience, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This guy experience. I gotta look these people up.
Gotta look them up. Or you call yourself an 80s kid, but yeah,
oh,
Elizabeth
Rhino's
Shue.
he's Gen Z, right?
What?
Gen
Yeah.
Z. Have you heard of a landline?
Yeah, I used to have a landline.
Oh.
I'm 45, bro.
Rotary phone.
God, you're older than me? Jesus.
I'm an old fart.
Yeah.
I smell like one too.
But yeah, back to Madam Web is one of the ones I guess I'm actually looking forward to just from the casting that they've had, but who knows what it'll entail. I do like Adam Scott. I think he's one of those guys that brings a lot of comedy to his roles, but can carry off a more serious.
Wasn't he part of some like comedy troupe back
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
day?
a Comedy Central or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Or one of the premium cable
MTV.
channels.
Something like that. What was it? I can't remember. He was good in it though.
And then was that the one that had the guy from Pitch Perfect in it? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know how Adam Scott isn't in a Star Wars thing yet because he is such a giant Star Wars fan.
he probably has been, and we don't know.
Well, you think he was a stormtrooper?
Yeah,
You know, I was a stormtrooper too. And
Well, they would have let us
fucking
know. They're
fifth
not going to
film.
just let. But yeah, it's crazy how a lot of these people do the. Did you see Simon Pegg says he doesn't want to do MCU movies? He wants to do something more serious.
I'm
Adam
with
Scott
Dank.
should have been Morbius.
Yeah.
He would have been
I'm
a
with
better
Dank.
Morbius. Yeah.
I feel like he'd be amazing to see in a Star Wars role, but this news does kind of have me looking a little bit more up for that Madam Web. At this point, after Thor: Love and Thunder, I haven't even watched the movie yet, but just based on hearing people's reactions, I'm more optimistic for the future. Whereas this past winter, I just kind of feeling really blue about Marvel movies and movies in general.
I'm still excited for Guardians and Wakanda are the two that I'm most looking forward to.
You guys, I called it that Marvel peaked at Endgame like a year ago. I was like looking at old videos. I was like, oh shit, I predicted all this shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just told you.
Yeah,
so.
because you Doctor Strange did. You were a variant, and we're in these other time
telling
streams.
you, I know they fucked up. I knew they
Yeah,
fucked
like you
up
said, when they
after
mess with death and they mess with
death
time
and time
travel.
travel, yeah, and then they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It just gets hard to keep up with.
Homelander's milk jugs. Elizabeth Shue still looked good, and then the first season of The Boys. But Ryan, that brings us to your surprise topic of the week.
Wait, I need some cool sound effects. So I went to a Comic Con over the weekend, the Comic Palooza here in the H Town area. Well, I went halfway. My wife was really sick, and I went Saturday, and I was working with Unknown Comics, representing Unknown Comics here. Thank you very much. It was interesting to see. You know, it was
Is that Darren?
Come
Is that
again.
Darren?
Darren, yeah, yeah. Darren was there, yeah. So I was I was working at their booth, but I worked with them also at Dallas, and I was just seeing kind of like what the difference was. It seemed like Dallas was Fan Expo, and it was definitely a lot tighter. It seemed like this was a lot more open feeling. There was no like comic artists really to which was again there was a lot of actors.
No Artist Alley.
Yeah, there's actors and whatnot. The only really comic artist that I noticed was Jock, which met him, got to talk with him. He's super cool. Was really excited to just to chat it up with him for a little bit. There was no one in line when I went by there. I literally worked and then went by there and went home. And then the next day, my wife was so sick I couldn't go back. But it was cool to go and just to kind of see difference of two cities. And you know, there was a lot of complaints though about Comic Palooza here in Houston because the price kept going up and they had no support there. And I think that the lack of support was from the fact that San Diego was the next weekend, and maybe a lot of the actors or actresses or comic individuals were kind of focused on that deal possibly. And then Kate's is not. I guess he's boycotting all these things because he thinks it's a super virus spreading thingamabob or whatever. So,
see, that's the thing. And a lot of retailers, if they're going to San Diego, they're like, hey, I'm not, screw deals. I'm going to San Diego, sell it there. And Baltimore used to be the same way because Baltimore used to always be like the week before New York Comic Con. And then within the past couple of years, they moved it back a little more into October so you can get some deals. But yeah, it was always hard because if you know they're going to like one of those big cons the week later, it's harder to get deals from retailers on comic books because they're like, I'll just take it with me there and try to sell it.
Yeah, that was one of my things. Tigers, you're absolutely right. It's freaking hot as all get out here right now. It's so freaking hot right now.
I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
terrible, dude. It's a dry heat, McClay.
It's
120 degrees dry heat.
We're in 100 plus degree and humidity. It's like walking.
It doesn't matter once you get above 110.
Yeah, hot is hot.
Yeah,
it's freaking unbearable. But yeah, so I was thinking, one of my things I was going to ask y'all, and there'll be a couple of different things. Was if you had to do something different at a con compared to what you used to experience to kind of what they're doing now, it's facing artists or not. What are some different things how would you change a con if you had the ability to be an organizer of a company? Like, hey, Andy, we're gonna fund this all, but we were gonna have you put it together and make it to something that is gonna be enjoyable. What would you bring or take away to make it better, in your opinion?
Dude, I mean, that's a tough
everybody.
One. That's a tough one. Starting out with me, I mean, we got to realize that those of us kind of looking at this, or when we're kind of judging a convention, we've got blinders on, right? We're only seeing one perspective. We're only seeing one angle. You got to blood out big picture and look at this from the owners and the organizers' perspective, really, on how to run a successful convention safely and that's beneficial from everybody. Like I've always kind of complained. I'm like, I don't care about the actors so much. I don't care. But the more I go to conventions, the more I kind of realize that there's variety at conventions for a reason. And it's not necessarily about what you would add and what you would take away. Is you're looking for balance. You're trying to find that feng shui of the convention for the flow of people. You want to include everybody. That's the best part about cons. I think cons were one of the first big major events that I know of, that I can think of in the United States, where it was inclusive. People could be how they wanted. It was all inclusive. Didn't matter race, religion, sex, or anything. It was all inclusive. Come, be yourself, have a good time. Motor City Comic Cons preached that for years, for eons. And that's kind of been a major thing about cons. So back to your question to answer your question, I don't even know where to begin. I wouldn't know where to begin or change, except for I'd probably put some sort of mandate on a minimum number of comic book vendors. Like there has to be a minimum that have to be signed up and are like on board to be there.
So that is, it's interesting because the vendors, would you say that the vendors would need to be a pop culture related or comic book related type of vendor? The reason why I asked that is because at Houston, there's a booth right next to us over at Unknown, and they were selling booty shorts for girls. It was like 2 or 3 booth spaces, and they were selling like these little bitty shorts, which and they had decent people coming by and like purchasing stuff, and I think that they were you could place different sayings on there. So they were, I guess, getting by putting like a something that was a reference to maybe, but they were selling booty shorts really.
I went
And it
to
was,
there was a vendor like that at a con I went to once, and I thought they were like comic themed cloth cell phone holders or something. I was like, oh, what are these cell phone holders? They weren't.
booty shorts.
They weren't booty shorts, but they were cloth female hygiene products.
Oh my gosh!
Never mind.
I mean, so doesn't that take away from the vendors that are there that are there for the comic, or should it be open to everybody? It doesn't matter.
I think it's open to everyone, if you're running the organization, you just want to sell that table space.
Yep, exactly.
You need to make a profit on it, and I think running those cons is no easy measure. I think there's so much logistics that go into that, just between the power of the vendors, load in, load out, all that stuff that goes into planning that. That's why you see them doing it a year in advance. I think smaller cons and smaller demographics might be easier. Like when I was growing up, like the way card shows were, you'd have a card show at the church. To me, card shows are so much easier than comic cons. But I think it's a well mixed thing, because you want some of the there's such a different widespread between hardcore comic book lovers and then kind of just the casual reader, but there's more into also just kind of the general theme of comic books and superheroes and pop culture. So you have to have some of those media guests and other things, and I love those Pokemon mystery boxes and things like that. But I would go Night at the Roxbury style, man. I'd put the inside of the con on the outside of the con. Just kidding.
What?
I like booty shorts containers. I actually went by and looked at them to possibly buy some for my wife, but
where the pockets hang out lower than the bottom of the shorts.
It was like a terry cloth like type of short or something like that.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I think we look at a lot of stuff. Wizard World was a big example. We talk about San Diego; it's pop culture, but Wizard World was definitely more pop culture, and that was the biggest complaint it got to, where it was like, holy cow, there's hardly any comics.
And if we have time, I have a little added on there if we have time. I don't know how we're doing on time.
Well, let's point to this. The last couple of conventions that I've been to, comic books have not been the focal point for 80% of the people at the convention. It's been toys, it's been pops, it's been cards, and it's been a couple of video games. Everybody's talking about video games. Comics are taking a back seat. So for me to say there needs to be a minimum number of comic vendors, I would be terrible. My convention would never come back again, because it would have to be something small somewhere else. Because those pop culture ones, Motor City, Double O, Mood, and I saw it. Case in point, his comic sales weren't terrible by any means, but there were a lot of people selling and going gangbusters over his action figures that he was selling, original Star Wars stuff.
I mean, a big telling point of that is if you go to a brick and mortar comic shop, are they just selling comics, or are they selling other stuff as well?
I
And
feel
if they are just
wasted.
selling comics, how are they doing?
It was, and like I said, it was just like a talking, more like it was just like interesting. Like I go to a comic convention, I think about comics, and it is. I think you're right. It needs to be an even flow of different types of things. Try to make it even between movie guests and other stuff.
The one thing I wish they would do more at cons, and some are better than others, is making announcements of what panels are going on. Because a
Ooh,
lot of
good.
times, if you're not in the know or don't have a program or know where panels are and what rooms they are, you kind of miss out on it and then go, oh crap, this happened. I didn't know there was a panel on that. So just making those announcements or putting it up where people can see it. So
yeah. Do you
Man.
any
Yo,
prop bets on what's going to be announced at Marvel this weekend? Or what do y'all want to hear, or what do you think is going to be released?
they're going to make some Star Wars announcements, right? I think
There's all kinds of announcements, man. Marvel, Star Wars,
Berserker.
Man, there's a lot. Yeah, Berserker.
Something is killing the children, or no? There's two big panels for Boom Studios that I was trying to
we
read
got a
up
bunch
on.
of Power Ranger stuff going.
Blade.
Teen Wolf movie, Abbott Elementary, National Treasure, Marvel's
Sorry,
New World,
Nate.
Severance, Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, Marvel What If, Paper Girls, Walking Dead, Bob's Burgers, Berserker, Little Demon.
Paper Girls
Damien.
marketing is terrible, which is like really, and I was thinking like
Well,
50 years from now, they're gonna say, "Did you know Comic-Cons they're named after comic books?" Like that's
right.
like we're not even gonna remember that. They're just gonna be known as Comic-Cons, where
Yeah.
and like, oh, I thought it was about stand-up comics. I thought it was about funny or something.
Yeah.
That's just what I don't know. That's just what's gonna happen.
Dying age. The paper thing is dying. They'll be digital at that time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
Substack.
I don't know how much longer the Marvel hype machine can last. I wonder, honestly. Like, I don't know. Does anyone care anymore?
Well, it's like asking how long the Star Wars hype machine is going to last.
No, I think it's
ongoing.
I think they fucked up. I think Disney Plus fucked up so too hard, and now they're losing everyone because they
got a little greedy, but
hold
hold on.
pumping out too much.
Too much Star Wars?
Too much, all of it, all the Disney. Like it's like too fast, too much.
Not only are they pumping out too much, they are not. They do not read. They are not Star Wars readers. They are not. All the people that create this stuff don't know backstories. They are not Star Wars fans or Marvel comic book fans. They don't read the OG material, and that's why they're ruining it, in my opinion. Halo. The people who made the Halo movie literally came out and said, "Oh, we knew nothing about it. We didn't play the game or anything." Star Wars, the people that wrote the Obi-Wan stuff, didn't know anything about the original material.
Boba Fett stunk.
Yeah, Boba Fett stunk. Did not know about the original material. If you knew about the original material, you wouldn't have made Boba Fett like that. Marvel did not know. A lot of these people that are doing the Marvel stuff did not read original material. Look at Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth literally did an interview where they said they were given stacks of comic books to read, and they just opened up one comic and didn't read it. Yeah. That is the problem. They are not reading the original material, and the Star Wars and Marvel and all this stuff is made for Star Wars and Marvel fans. If you don't read the OG material, you're just spitting in the face of fans. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, they kind of set up a schedule of projects before there's like anyone pitching a good idea for a project, and then they just like attach people just to streamline it and just pump it out instead of waiting for the right project. You know, actually I was watching the prequels yesterday and I was like, well, at least he was trying something creative. You know, like I never thought I would appreciate the prequels like I do now, and because he was at least trying, and now it's like,
speaking
like
of the prequels,
try. I don't know.
Did you hear Taika Waititi literally offered Natalie Portman a role in his new Star Wars movie?
Yeah. They didn't realize he was Padme.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good dog.
Wow.
Ah,
Yeah.
Silly.
Good stuff. I mean, guess we'll see. I can sit here and complain, but I'm also happy that we still have this stuff to watch.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
me, it's just too much to keep up with. That I still
20
need to
years
go back
ago.
and watch Miss Marvel. I still need to finish like the last 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. It's just I've been too busy watching Below Deck Mediterranean
10
Bravo.
years, like 20, 30 years ago when I was a kid, I just wish they would make something like this. So I try to, when I go to see movies, I try to think about that and go into all the movies and not be too. Like, only one I was kind of disappointed in was when I went and saw it. The Thor one kind of disappointed me, but
I am excited for Echo,
that's like
especially if we get Murdoch and Fisk.
it's
Yeah.
like you always want to marry this kind of person, but they like beat you at night. You know, like, but it's what you wanted. So I guess you're just gonna beat in the face all night. I don't know. I just don't.
It's funny. But well, we talked about cons not having comics, but we do have new comic book day tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
My-
We,
It's
My
a
list is
big
kind of
fucking
small. Normally,
Oh.
San Diego Comic-Con week, we kind of talked about it last week. Like the week leading up was kind of short, but there was actually a lot of books coming out last week.
lot of books.
But what are you guys getting this week? I only have 3 on my list for the week.
I've there's
Brian,
a
I'm pretty
couple
sure you and I have the same one.
Yeah. Well, there's Star Wars books that I think we all kind of took a look at.
Yeah, I'm sure
Um,
Andy had the Sprouse.
Yeah.
Not the Sprouse, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
well-
the Ahsoka.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. That one's nice, but you know what's really nice?
yeah.
This McNiven cover is
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Mm.
That is one of the best Star Wars covers I've seen in a long time, man.
Why is League of Comic Geeks showing me something different?
This is for Star Wars 25.
Yeah, I was looking at Star Wars 25
Oh.
and it's showing me something different, oddly enough. But continue. Oh, because I was
So-
looking at Darth Vader 25.
Okay. But I think the book that maybe Brian might be talking about, is it this?
No, I'm talking about 80s kid nostalgia.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
that too, and especially I normally don't like the line art or sketch variants, but I do like the sketch variant for that cover.
Well, shout out to Skybound Entertainment and everything that they're doing over there. Like, they're one of the few bright spots in comics and collecting right now. And Clutch is going to have a major book announcement for San Diego, which is awesome. And this is their book that they're going to be, writing on the back of this week, the Skybound X number 25. It's bringing back Invincible with Ryan Otley and Robert Kirkman. It'll be their first story they've done on Invincible since the series ended, and it's going to be a Battle Beast story, a character that's much beloved by Invincible fans. So that'll be cool. But Skybound X is a anthology series, so there's a bunch of different stories in it. So be on the lookout for
Yeah,
that.
and like some of the covers have covers from the different stories too, right?
Yeah. Here's some of the other covers, as you guys can see. I mean, very interesting. That's an interesting cover right there. That is very interesting. So be on the lookout for that one. I think that's
Was that McNiven a 1 in 25?
Ooh.
No, for the Star Wars. You're right. It's
Oh,
just
for the
asking
Star
in
Wars?
chat.
Yeah, this is a 1 in 25. The Star Wars one is a 1 in 25. Yes. So beautiful though, gorgeous. I really like that one. And then the Star Wars Vader variant is amazing for Vader 25.
Yeah, that's
Just
the one at
beautiful.
25, right?
Yeah, this is the Rod Rice variant. So those are the books I'm looking for.
So I'll piggyback off of McClay here, and you guys know I'm a Star Wars junkie. My read of the week, though, is going to be We Live, Age of Palladians number 4. I'm just still kind of digging that universe, that We Live universe, but I'm looking forward to dipping back into that. It feels like it's been a hot minute. I don't know if they took like a 2-month break or something, but I feel like I haven't seen number 3 in a while. Then
That Bjorn Barons, was that an actual publisher variant or was that a retailer?
Of We Live.
Yeah.
Good question. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not paying a whole lot of close attention to variants right now, unless it's something like Star Wars. But
He's kind of blown up a little bit too lately.
It says metal and virgin variant, so I don't know.
oh no,
That's crazy looking cover.
they do their own metal variant, so that's going to be coming from them.
All right.
Is that?
It's going to be coming from Aftershock. If they're doing like a variant and then a metal of that variant, it'll more than likely be from Aftershock. Keep your eyes peeled for the metals at SDCC and C2E2 if Aftershock goes to both one or and either, because they like to sneak metal variants into the convention. And then my two big books that I'm paying attention to the week, and not really like big books, not trying to inflate them or anything like, but it's Star Wars 25 and Darth Vader 25. You guys know I pick up everything Star Wars. Brian hit the nail on the head with the 1 in 25, but Brian, right there on the top in the middle is the 1 in 50. That is a sleeper right now.
That's cool.
Sales were pretty.
Believe.
Yes. Sales were pretty swift, it sounds like, in that $40-$50 range. And I got to give a big shout out to our buddy White Whale Comics, who was keeping an eye on books online and the asking price range of $80 to $90. Those have already sold, and asking prices on eBay tonight are now over 100 and in the 125 category. I don't know what's pushing this book. And Alex said the same thing. He's not quite sure, but I don't know if it's a key appearance.
Gorgeous.
It is a gorgeous cover, but for a 1 in 50 out the gate to go triple with not a significant first appearance or anything going on, I kind of wonder what's behind it. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. My fingers are crossed that my shop ordered enough that I can they at least got one or two of these, and I'm able to grab one, because it is absolutely gorgeous. That orange background would make for a great opportunity to do a remark / mini sketch with him. And then Darth Vader 25. If you take a quick peek at Darth Vader 25 right there to the then it dropped. There is another really good cover in there that I'm looking forward to. And Star Wars is one of the last Star Wars stuff, anything is one of the last few that I've kept all covers, all copies, all variants on my pull list with my LCS. I've kind of made a focus on Star Wars because I've been having so much fun with it. That one that you picked out, but then that
Darth Crawl.
That's not terrible.
Again, they really messed up on this by only showing the hilt of the lightsaber. If they were only going to show the hilt, they should have just shown the hilt and not the lightsaber. And then only having half of the lightsaber makes it look stupid. They should have just been the hilt.
Yeah,
You've seen one lightsaber, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
Peep the Mayhew variant. That Mayhew variant.
I'm not a fan of Mayhew anymore, man. Even though that's really nice. I don't know what it is about Mayhew.
Reminds me of Zaxxon.
Yeah.
Wax on.
Zaxxon.
Those are my picks for the week. The obviously the Han Solo and Chewbacca's out, and there's a black chrysanthemum cover appearance there on the far left. That's pretty cool.
This has another really cool variant also, right? The Sprouse Choose Your Destiny.
That I know will be my pull list because I was one of the first people to ask for that in my LCS. I in all fairness, I need to go buy 10 copies just for the boss upstairs. She is a huge Ahsoka fan, and I know that this is going to be a cover that we're going to want for an Ashley Eckstein signature appearance, or not appearance, but whatever you call it.
Verified signature.
Yeah, well, if she makes convention appearances, what do you call it when you get a ticket for that?
Certified. Witnessed. Just say witnessed.
Either way. Sadly enough, she's not going to be at SDCC or at C2E2. She was just at Fan Expo, though, and I wish I would have gone.
Yeah,
Brian, there was 2 nostalgia hits this week. Did you see both of them?
The one I was pointing at was that one for sure. The Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. Definitely looking forward to that. That's one of the ones where just from the nostalgia in me, I'll collect all. I'll go Pokemon and try to collect all the covers. And John at 616 has that Nasty Nick homage. Which we discussed on the show. But there's some great covers there, man.
Yeah, I just wish they would have done an all black one. I don't understand why they didn't.
They got the Incredible Hulk Booger Green.
Yeah. Yeah.
That looks like a cool series, but
The other
So-
one was that GI Joe cover. Did you see that?
yes, that's
Now-
Snake Eyes, right?
I want to hear what you guys think about this.
I think it's terrible,
Thank you.
bad,
Yeah.
but it is Snake Eyes. So
There's no accreditation over there, so
Yeah.
it's likely a compilation of prior reads. It's
Yeah, I mean, we look at that and we're like, it's ugly, and then I'll probably sell as an NFT for some crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Nerds.
yeah.
Jesus.
But there was, since I'm on me, I'll just keep going. Death Rage #1, right, from was it Mark Comics, right there, and two of that. I just like that for the covers.
Yeah, those are dope.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a. I haven't read those books, but I guess it's a character from another series that it spotlights on. But I was like, those are cool looking covers.
Death Rage.
It almost looks like a Josh Burns type cover, but
She got monkeypox.
and then my last one was it Little Red Ronin from Source Point and Garrett Gunn.
Ooh, yeah, Garrett had some great variants for that coming up.
Whoa.
I grabbed some previews of this at Motor City recently, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Whoa.
I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Source Point usually puts out some good books, good indie books.
This is the one per
I had to think,
store.
'cause I figured this might be one that Dan was eyeing in on as well, but
Yes, I pre-ordered a lot of these. I have a feeling that it's like gonna be like Kanto or Stray
Yeah.
Dogs. I feel like it's gonna be one of those like out of nowhere sleeper hits that and everyone's like fight. We'll see. Or I'm like creating this speculative market. I also picked Dark Spaces Wildfire by Scott Snyder coming from IDW.
yeah, that's the Dark Horse. Is it Dark Horse?
IDW.
IDW. I remember we were talking. That's the Substack thing, right, or whatever. I believe we talked about that on this show at one point when those were announced.
Substack.
That came from Substack.
I think it was one of or out of his own imprint type thing.
Substack.
Oh
Substack.
yeah. It looks very interesting. It looks like very much something they might make a movie out of. So I just felt like that.
A
might
chick.
be-
It's an all chick crew.
like from I think it's part of like a convict program, which is.
I was
like,
about to
that's
say that
real.
would never
No,
ever happen.
They have those
This-
like they have convict programs where they have prisoners and you can reduce your time. It's like Suicide Squad if you join the fire units because
Yeah, it's like Con Air, but in firefighters.
I don't think, and this is not me sounding sexist, but I don't think there could be an all chick wildfire unit, right? They don't have the strength to do it.
They got
Right?
chick collegiate swimmers now that are awesome.
There's-
Dude.
That are
So-
former men.
Are they used to working with a hose?
Well,
I do like Hayden Sherman though. From his art's fantastic. Huge fan of Wasted Space.
Sorry.
I think you might be surprised when you look at some of those units. A lot of prior military ladies that are just badasses are trending into like wildfire fighters and the parachuters where they para jump into there. And there's some you can find them on TikTok and some other places where they're posting some of this stuff, and they are badass.
I got a
the
bunch
thing.
of friends.
This is real. This is actually happening in real life. Like it's.
Oh
not
yeah, with
it's not
convicts,
like
yeah, but not with women though.
Yeah, with women inmates. Like this is actually a real thing.
Bro,
If
there
anything,
can't.
I think it's sexist that there's not a man in there.
I mean, I know men that were in the male version of this, and I know there is actually the woman version of this because it's like
Yeah.
inmates, right? You're not gonna co-ed the inmates for this opportunity to reduce your sentence by. It's like because nobody wants to do this job. It's it's mostly boring, and then it's like really scary. Like it's not.
So there's a famous story about a wildfire hotspot crew that died here in Arizona. That I have a bunch of friends who were friends with those guys. I got a bunch of friends who are firefighters here in the valley, and man, the way that they talk about those guys, and I don't know, man. It seems like it would be really tough for a crew of women. And this is not me being sexist. This is 100% not me being sexist, but we all know that there's a strength thing involved, right? It would be like and right? Am I being wrong here? Like
No, I just to offer a counterpoint. There is some women in the Marine Corps that would
Yes.
make you question that, though.
And I agree. There are some women out there that maybe I just need to see it, man. Maybe I just need to see it. And
I mean, yeah, maybe like if we talk to them, they're just like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They exist. So
I'm not
We
saying
all
they
know
don't
it.
exist. I
no,
think
I know, I understand, but
it's
If-
it's very
like
and I'm
unless they're
not
dying, unless they're like constantly dying, then and if this program's going on, right, it must be useful. Like
it's
it must be
interesting.
valuable
It's
enough.
fucking interesting, man. Like if it's real, this is something that we do need to read. Like that's not me jumping back because people are thinking I'm getting canceled. It
No,
surprises
no.
me.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just giving you shit to give you shit.
Yeah, it's surprising, man.
I respect what you say. I mean,
And
I
it's
don't-
Scott Snyder too, which, like you guys said, you know, it says 6 weeks into a slow burn of the historic Aroa fire, which wasn't that here in Arizona. A crew of women from an inmate firefighting program are risking everything on the front lines of when their newest recruit, a white-collar convict with a deep network of shady dealers, discovers their miles from her crooked former associate's mansion.
Is the
The
TV
story's, like,
adaptation going to
awesome.
be called Red is the New Black? I'm sorry, bad joke. Get Orange is the New Black. A bad joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I read this in previews months ago, and I was just like, I gotta read this. Like, I just love the synopsis.
Aurora was in California, not in Arizona.
I remember we talked about because they announced a couple new series from IDW, and we talked about it on this very show. That I think it's great though that IDW, instead of going after just licensed properties, is creating more original IP.
Yeah. 00 says, with all due respect, Brian, I think you're wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm very interested to see it. And not to say to prove me wrong, but because I think it's interesting. Like that would be very interesting to see. Like they need to do a fucking documentary on these women.
Oh,
There probably is one. Let me take a look if there is one.
What was the
There's definitely articles about it.
Was it Charlize Theron that had that firefighter movie? It was
Drawn to Flame, woman forged by wild. No, hold on.
Careful what you're Googling.
Let's see here. Of those in fire, 18%.
Very
Oh yeah,
interesting.
here we go. 18% of women. 18% of it says here women in fire. In the male-dominated world of wildland fire in America, the Bureau of Land Management is working to address the gender discrimination, harassment, and assault that have been the endemic to the culture for over a century. So yeah, it says like 18% of the firefighters in the wildfire program are women. 18%.
Well, and I agree with that. That was just what you made a point of is there an all-female team?
Yeah. That's the thing I can't find. But that still surprises me that large of percent are women.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
No. Look, you were wondering if this is made up fiction out of nowhere, right? And,
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, actually, it's based on just what is actually happening. That's all.
Yep.
You know, like it was totally an okay question. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, they're
You know.
gonna cancel you. They're gonna cancel you anyway. So
No, I don't
fuck it.
give a shit about that, man. I'd still be on Flipside if I cared about that.
But
and Seven Sons issue 2,
nice.
because it's been a while since I've seen Jay Lee stuff and it's creepy Jesus stuff. I have issue 1. I think it's interesting. I'm gonna check it out. Keep going with it.
Oh,
I'm
you just
into
passed
like religious stuff and theology. I love that kind of stuff.
it. Right there on the right. The white one. Yep.
Yeah.
That's creepy shit.
You know,
Ooh,
and
what
Jay
is
Lee,
this?
he really like reinvigorated the Inhumans a while back, and he did some amazing work in Marvel. And
Was that
I mean,
like the-
Image.
I didn't know
the-
this was out. This looks
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's good. It's interesting, and I can't wait to keep going.
What do
Here's
you
number
get,
1.
Ryan?
It's interesting.
Venom, Lethal Protector, nothing exciting. Probably,
He's
probably
like,
getting
no.
the alien
That's a
And-
good cover. The
That's a
Alien
good
Annual.
tattoo.
I think that first one is Paul.
Ooh.
That's cool. I didn't see that one yet.
That's a tattoo right there.
Is that
It looks like Flash art.
ratio variant?
Is that KRS? That's
Tyler
Kirkham.
Kirkham.
There you
Ooh.
go.
Ryan No Balls tattoo next month.
Do you see if there's any ratio variants or no, or is it?
It doesn't say. It just says variant A, B, C.
I like that last one on the right. That's the one.
Fuck you and your mom.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's our picks for New Comic Book Day, and Brian's being canceled. But that leaves us with one more thing. One more thing. What do you got for us, McClay?
Well, at least let me get 1,000 before I get canceled, you guys.
Just in time.
Yeah. So, yeah, come check me out on YouTube. We are, let's see here, where are we at now? I think I am at, let's take a look, 992 subscribers. So
Oh
8
my
away
gosh.
still. Yeah, almost there.
God.
8 people.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But that being said, I do want to say this. I am very, very happy to everybody that came and bought comics from me over the last couple of weeks on the sales I have been doing, because I was able to achieve this. If you want to share that screen, the 3 Jordans are in my possession now. All
Nice.
3 of them.
Wow.
Is he good?
Wow.
Is he good? Is he good?
Is he cool?
So next step is to make some money to send these off to get graded. So I'll be having sales again on, well, it depends. If I go to San Diego this week, there will be no sales this week. But if that doesn't happen, tomorrow night I might have a sale, and then Sunday I might have a sale. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Those are
make sure you guys-
beautiful.
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I was
the-
really
That's pretty
stoked.
awesome.
That's the kind of card that might show up in an episode of Star Trek, you know, where they're like, yeah, this is got one of these.
Yeah, this is the first flying human.
Yeah. So very, very cool. Appreciate everybody that came over and helped me achieve this flip. And now on to the next flip, which I'm trying to trade one of those cards for a Wayne Gretzky OPG rookie right now.
Ooh.
Oh, we've had that conversation before.
3 years. It's taken 3 years. 3 years, but I'm going to achieve it.
Pinky's out that thing when you pick it up.
Yeah.
I think he's out.
What do you got, El Beardo?
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to condense this, but I'm very excited to share this with you guys. I'm not going to call it a comeback, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a comeback. Took several weeks off to relax, recuperate, work on some stuff for myself, professionally and at home. I know that YouTube can be a grind, and I've kind of decided that end of June, beginning of July, just seems to be the right time to kind of take that vacation from YouTube. But we're back, and we're back with some amazing news. I've been afforded an opportunity and was asked if I wanted to become a partner somewhere. And that partnership is with right here. Gary of Impressive Comic Book Services, Pressing Services, has asked myself and Guest Comic Knowledge before me actually to become affiliates. And I'm proud to say right there under the affiliates link, along with Red Hood, Frankie's, Black Cape, Zap, AA, Kaboom, Skeff, Brogan's Heroes, Comics, Collectibles, right there. There's the old Comic Man Andy logo. And what does that
Dude,
mean going
it's
forward?
not special if everyone's doing it.
Not everyone's on there though.
I'm not on there, so have at it.
I'm really kind of tickled pink about this because I think it's going to be awesome going forward for what I'm interested in doing and the work that Gary does. I'm really happy with what Gary does, the service that he provides, and I also like that this affiliate / partnership with Gary does. It's not exclusive with him. I just have to meet his criteria. And it's not a sponsorship either. I'm not beholden to him. I'm not being given anything by him. It's a mutual affiliate / partnership where we're working to better each other and ourselves in the comic book community. And I'm really happy for that he approached me. I feel honored that he approached me among many others out there. And along with that means that there's going to be a lot more CGC unboxings on my channel. It's something I've been wanting to do and focus on, and he's going to help me focus that a little bit better instead of being so scattered around. And then last but not least, C2E2 is just 2 weeks away, so there's going to be content coming up about planning for that.
Bitch, you need to learn how to count. It's one more thing, not whatever.
I know.
I'm just
I
kidding.
can't count. I don't know numbers.
Gary Kendra, old school CBSI G+ days. So, what do you got, Dan?
I think I'm doing a video about like how I think Jesus was the first burner, like
What?
Burning Man burner, and how he like
Oh.
was just teaching like reality shifting. Like in
You had to
fact
do
that
something between age 0 and 33.
yeah, and that there weren't really miracles actually. It was something else. And I like whatever. I'm gonna break it down and do a thing about that. And then I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and explains a lot of stuff. So I might talk about that too. I don't know, but it's
Jesus was the first surfer. Just
yeah,
sitting on the board.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know though. I don't really know what's going on. I've been pretty. I just quit my job,
Ooh,
doing other job. Yeah, so
good for you, man.
yeah, it feels great. It feels great actually.
Nice. So and that's going. Those are going down on the Dank Show, right?
Yes.
Make sure you guys check out the Dank Show on YouTube. What you got, Ryan?
Yep. So keep an eye on Rhinoverse. I got an opportunity to do a interview with a buddy of mine, a fellow musician. So that will be sometime here in the near future. I'll give more details as that comes along. And everyone else has been doing a doubling in card collecting. Went into the old card collecting with the wrong mentality. Went into it with, I probably can make some money doing this and blah, blah, blah. And it was a horrible mentality to go into. It's what we tell people not to do when they get into comics. I didn't go into comics though with that mentality, and I had fun doing it. Went into cards and hated cards. Now I'm really starting to enjoy myself because I've just decided to collect my boys, the Falcons, and it's become a lot more fun. I just received my first graded card, which is a Mike Vick
Nice.
PSA. So it was cool to finally have a graded a card, and it's enjoyable. It's been fun. Just the hunt has been fun, and it's rejuvenated me on the card situation. I realized that I had a bunch of cards. I thought I had a bunch of crap, and I realized I had a bunch of good stuff. And so now that I have that, I'm able to get my Kyle Pitts and just my different players, my old Matt Ryans and Julio Jones and whatnot, the things that I like. So it just goes to the fact, collect what you like, and you'll always have fun.
What do you like better, professional or college football?
Pro. I don't watch much college.
Oh.
Why?
College football's better.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone says that, but I guess because I didn't go to college, and so I don't have a skin in the game.
Hey, I want to, before Brian walks us out, I want to share something about the crew. I was wrong. There is an all-female fire crew that tackles wildfires, but I wasn't necessarily wrong. I was thinking wildfire crews were the same as hotshot crews.
That's what I was thinking of too.
Yeah. So
Like
I was thinking of the hotshot crews, not wildfire.
The Howie
crews.
Long movie.
Can you explain the difference really quick?
Yeah, so the hotshot crews are the team of guys that get dropped into wildfires at their hottest point to try and stop it, and it's super dangerous. And we lost 19 firefighters a couple of years ago here in Arizona during the hotspot crew and Prescott that died in the firefighters up there. But this is very interesting. There is an all-female wildfire crew. So there we go.
My one more thing is I have a crap load of Simple Man's Comics exclusive retail variants, a bunch of other retail variants. So I am currently trying to get rid of a bunch of those, and I'll put a link in the chat here as well. But mystery boxes, 3 exclusive variants for $15. I'm selling on my website right now. Simple Man's Comics /shop.
Go ahead and share the screen, Andy. I got it up.
And then So right there, I got Marvel, I got DC, I got Image, I got a bunch of independents, I got Power Rangers, I got all types of boom books. So $15, 3 books, between $10 to $60 retail value. I'm just randomly putting them in there. Who knows? I might even throw a 4th in there because I'm just trying to get rid of some of the back stock, and I don't want to charge a bunch of people money. It's basically just to cover materials and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in any of that, 3 exclusive variants for $15, $5 a piece plus shipping. If not, no worries, no pressure to buy it, but those are being offered on the website right now. And with that being said, thanks for everyone that's in the chat tonight. It was a little bit crazier night. We went off the rails a little bit here, but hey, that's what it's all about. One great community here. No bad intentions are made whatsoever. Always thanks Dan, Ryan, McClay. Always great to have you back. Missed a week. El Beardo, thank you so much. We will be having Tomblin back soon. It's just Southern Charm Season 8's in full swing right now, so he's been a little busy. Check him out on Bravo. That's my new guilty pleasure show, by the way. I've been watching Below Deck. Such an awesome show. They had Johnny Damon charter on a yacht. It was awesome. He hated his steak. It wasn't cooked good enough. But either way, now I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week on Comic News Weekly.
Look, they talking like they don't know a king when they see one. See him in person, he take it back like a refund. Ballin' with my brothers, all my play a D1. Daily checking chicken, he gon' spin it watching reruns. Say they real, but they